I would say colourful, and really intense. Like when you walk out of the airport for the first time and you hit the streets, you're immediately overpowered by a horrendous cacophony of sounds and smells, things going on. I mean, every square inch of the pavement and road is completely awash with things going on. You literally can't take 2 steps without somebody speaking to you or being bombarded with something. So that was fantastic, and that persevered through the whole of our trip. Everything we ate, everything we touched, everything we smelt, everything we saw was really intense and really powerful.
Well, my impression of India itself, at the beginning I didn't really know what to expect, but I thought, it was a huge culture shock. But as I really delved into the beauties that Mumbai had, it was mind-blowing to see how similar, the westernized world can be to a country like India. You've also got the poverty side of stuff, which is absolutely beautiful in its own sense. But then you've also got different sides of Mumbai where you've got amazing restaurants, absolutely amazing. We went to a couple called Nils, which I think was absolutely amazing food. You also had the Taj, which, it kind of brings together the westernized side of stuff and the unicality that India actually has with the poverty and just the beautiful surroundings everywhere you go. Because on one side you can have the Taj, but around the corner you could have a shanty town with sheer poverty, which is absolutely beautiful in its own sense. Cultural barriers which I had to overcome, some were communication barriers. However, the beauty of that was that many people in India, a lot more than I actually anticipated before arriving there, spoke English. And the beauty was, even those who couldn't speak English, speaking broken English to them and trying to incorporate a few Indian words, it was quite funny to communicate with them also as well, because we both understood in the end what we were trying to get at. But it's, I think, just the manner in which you approach people, and that was a big cultural shock for me.
The main challenge was the weather. It was very, very hot, and but we adjusted quite quickly, so it wasn't so bad in the end. But the other challenge was also to work with different partners, so understanding the cultural difference and try to actually fit in with the community and beneficiaries that we were working with, so to engage them.
Well, I would say that the whole trip was actually quite a personal experience, and I think everybody had something switch in their heads. Most of us hadn't been there before, and actually when we were talking about culture, this relates very strongly because I realised things about myself that I previously hadn't realised living in a Western society. So there are some things like, let's say, the importance of food and like family that is totally different, and we don't experience so much in the Western culture. But actually, I feel they're quite close to my heart. So I feel like I've maybe brought part of that back with me.
A highlight from India. Well, I can't give you one highlight because it would be impossible. Because over the duration of the internship, there's just so many that there is no single way I could say, oh, this is my top highlight. But it went from where we started in Goa, where there's a relatively laid-back, famous laid-back attitude that they have there, but still getting work done, and then going to the likes of Nagpur, which is obviously very industrial, and it's just the carbon contract is just huge. And then we kind of went to Mumbai, which was a fantastic way to end such a trip. But what I kind of took out of it was that you learn within the same country to deal with different people, but actually trying to achieve the same goal. So we had to work with different partners to kind of show the skill of adaptability in a relatively short space of time.
New experiences in India. I think that the way people communicate is a massive difference from England or any other westernized country, where you just have yes, no, or the same thing. You have a head shake that way, and nod this way. But when you get into India and all they do is shake their head, and then it's up to you to really interpret what they mean. It depends on the type of question you ask, the way they shake their head, how tilted backwards it is, how tilted forwards, how their facial expressions are. So that was really a new experience for me.
Actually taught me what life was like stripped back to the bare basics. For someone who's grown up in the city, you will never ever really have that opportunity, unless you actually have this opportunity, to then see what it's really like to live, or like be within your means, and kind of see what it's like for people that basically probably live off far less than anyone does in this country, and actually still live a very happy life, a very high standard of life for them. And it's totally inspiring and really makes you view how you actually spend your life in the UK.
Well, when I wasn't engulfed in my work, which I had such great passion for, which was what actually brought me out to India, I managed to explore so many different parts of Mumbai, different parts of India, which for me were a completely new experience. For example, I viewed the Indian Gateway, which I'd heard a lot about prior to going there. And when I went and saw it, it was an amazing experience. But from then on, what happened the rest of that day was also amazing as well, because we had time to unwind, get to know the interns even better, get to share our experiences. We went to a rooftop dome bar, which was amazing. We got to unwind, relax. Everyone was in a chilled environment. We just had a hard week's work, and it was just a great time to bond with one another and get to know one another even better than we already did.
If by that you mean the time when we weren't intensely involved in getting stuff done and had to unwind for a bit, I've got to say is probably exploring a bit of Goa. That was unbelievable. We were there in the off season, but you get a vibe for the different kind of place. So amazing beaches. I've never swum in water that's that warm before. And I know I keep going back to the theme of food, but I just couldn't get enough of it. So a lot of the time was spent in restaurants, enjoying the local cuisine and trying and sometimes failing to speak to the locals.